So how would Maurice Ravel arrange Fly Me to the Moon? We're gonna take this in 3 steps. The first is to take this very lovely tune, which is usually in 4, into 3. And I'm choosing 3 because Ravel often has these waltzy rhythms, and I find that his music really shines when it has this lilting quality. Of course, these are generalizations, but I'm pinpointing the bits of Ravel that I find to be super Ravel and easy to recognize. Now this doesn't sound like Ravel yet, it's too jazzy, so we're going to tone down the jazz a little bit and up the modal quality of the harmony. So now, instead of having a chord progression, we have this F as our main note, which is the root of this modality. So for now, I'm thinking of a simple F Aeolian sound. I omitted some of the downbeats in the left hand so that we don't have this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 emphasis, and it's a little less stable that way. Also, I'm adding a minor 5 instead of a major or major 7th 5, and this brings the modal quality up a little more. Now moving on, let's add a little more arpeggios and more shimmer. This is going to add a lot more of this stereotypical impressionistic quality. So we're getting close, but we can go further. And so we're going to restart the phrase, but this time add in way more unstable chords, especially 7th chords, so that there are more colors to work with. So this is what I have in mind. I'm not working this out in a way where I'm picking each chord like a chord progression, but I'm treating this as a body of gestures that are sort of swaying around that top note, but we're not really sure what key we're in. And this is the whole point, that instability will add to the whimsical quality of Ravel's music. I'm gonna add something like this here because there are a lot of waltz-like qualities where Ravel just leans into this lush harmony, and he uses these close voicings. And what he also often does is highlight the octave. Not super obviously, but it's there. Something like this. Also moving on, I'm keeping that in mind and now adding more arpeggios. Ravel is all about momentum, and what I love about his music is that he builds it up in a way that's very pianistic, so he'll go up and down the registers and repeat certain phrases up an octave or down. Now, you would expect to go to this A minor section, but we're going to sort of shift away, hit A minor, but really go to this A7 with colors sound. And I see this as an opportunity to bring in the theme again, but I am doing this crossover hand thing. So this type of technique is really effective for creating this lush but delicate sound. It's basically breaking up a chord into two parts, two intervals. And then we're playing this chord next, again breaking it up. So if you break it up in this way, it's really not that complicated. Okay, again, we're going to divert away from the expected harmony, and we're going to land very close to where we were before, but just a half step below. And I think these types of movements we hear a lot in Ravel, Debussy, a lot in jazz too, of course. It's, again, not that complicated, it's just diverting away from what's expected. And with something like this, you can essentially just keep going. So really, it's a tool, a harmonic tool that allows you to go in whatever direction you want, basically. So now we're bringing back some things that we had before, like the arpeggios and some melodic fragments. It's very important that form is kept in mind, especially for Ravel. His music is quite organized, meaning that you'll have themes introduced or harmonies that are introduced that come back sooner or later, and they develop in different ways, or they're just reiterated somehow. Again, classic, common tone. And here, I'm including this minor second quality with this slightly Phrygian undertone, because I find that this dissonance is very Ravel-like, because a lot of times he includes harmonies that are a bit Spanish or a bit spicy. I think there's a lot of opportunity to lean more into dissonance. I'm probably doing it less so for this tune, but again. Even this sort of ornament to me adds a little bit of Spanish flair, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. Now, of course, with Ravel, he uses a lot of Eastern Asian influences, and the pentatonic scale is an obvious example. Have this shimmer going. This would be too obvious. I feel like Debussy would lean into more of this obvious pentatonic quoting, but Ravel, I think, it's just a little, it's almost like Asia is in the next room, Bach is in the other room, and jazz is downstairs. Lots of pedal, of course. To end, I'm going to have these flares of arpeggios until the end. So now let's put it all together, and this is my best educated guess of what Ravel might do with Fly Me to the Moon.